allowed to hit each other anymore. Neil, get that you're not in that team anymore. Why have you got that top on?
Okay. Yeah, start again and just say, I'm going to talk you around my 2021 R6.
No, you can't be in it, Neil. How do you know what a choir boy looks like? So today we are going to have a quick look around my 2021 Yamaha R6 that I'm going to ride in British Championship. Normally I would ride the same bike on the roads as well, so TT, Northwest, Ulster Grand Prix. But this year obviously all the road racing has been cancelled, so we're just going to use this bike solely for the British Championship. We've actually built a new bike just for that purpose. So we're going to have a quick look around and show you what gets changed from the standard road bike to the bike that we race now, and hopefully going to win some British Championship races on. Well, yeah, we got close last year, but no cigar. So first things first, the biggest part of the bike, looking at it fundamentally, is the bodywork. Obviously all the road bodywork comes off, so that's all your indicators, headlights, taillights, all that sort of stuff. And the biggest thing for that is probably safety, due to if you were going to have a crash and stuff, then all that stuff would be on the track. So first things first, get all that off. There's all different types of bodywork companies, but yeah, so you can just buy then, you can have fiberglass or carbon fiber bodywork, but in our class you're not actually allowed to run carbon fiber bodywork, so like the super bikes and stuff will have that, and it's obviously a lot more expensive. But if we start at the front of the bike, so wheels have to be the same. We changed the discs and the pads. We've got Brembo discs, and you can put aftermarket pads in. Obviously there's a lot of different brands and stuff for that. We run SBS pads in this bike, and then connecting the brake caliper to the lever, you've got different brake lines, which are obviously like a braided hose. So normally on your road bike or whatever, if you pump the lever quite hard, it would create like an expansion or whatever, and it would leave the lever really spongy. We get rid of all that there by using obviously proper hell hoses, and they're braided for that safety purpose as well. Going back up onto the vision, sort of what I get to look at, the handlebars are different. Obviously you've got different clip-on, different handlebar, different throttle as well. Grips and stuff are pretty similar. These are standard road grips that I use. And then obviously if you look through the dash as well, you can see the steering damper and stuff. That's pretty much to, if the bike starts to get like slightly nervous in any way or have a head shake, that damper obviously acts as a slowing down system for the handlebars shaking. And you can see also then when the class that I run the bike in is all, everybody has to run Motec. So you'll see the dash comes on with my name and stuff, and this is obviously the dash. This is not the dash you get to see whenever I'm riding. It's this is the pit dash, which just shows you all your voltages, temperatures, lap reference, stuff like that there from previous, and then all that goes off onto a different race dash once the bike engages gear, and you can set off going. So yeah, that's pretty much front end handlebars. So the forks and shock are different to what comes in a road bike. The forks have to be the same, the outside stanchions, and you're not allowed to change them. You can't be putting big fancy Olan's or K-Tech forks on. You have to keep the whole outside cartridge. So what we class that as is a cartridge kit, so you can put different makes of kit in the inside of the fork. And then the shock, you can change the shock completely. You can put whatever shock you want in, whether it is Olan's, K-Tech or whatever. It's not changed, but the likes of the linkage and everything that does get changed on a superbike can't be changed in Supersport. So these are all different rules and parts of the bike that's homologated for change. Tank has to be standard size, kind of a run of a bigger tank. That's one of the differences on this bike to my TT bike. We obviously run a bigger tank to be able to do the 2 laps at the TT, and we run a different filler system, which just leaves it easier in a pit stop and stuff at the TT for changing the fuel and stuff at the quickest time possible. Moving further back, we've got different rear sets. Same again, that can be anything. It's a bolt-on part, so that's allowed to be changed, but it can be every different rider's preference as to what rear set and stuff that they want to run. And then obviously chain and sprockets, different size to a road chain. What size is a road chain on a road bike?
530.
And what size is this chain?
520.
As my assistant Graham has just said, a road bike comes with my glamorous assistant, a road bike comes with a 530 chain, and then we move to a 520 chain. That's obviously just for lightness in it, and to not take as much horsepower off the engine. Yeah, get as much power as possible. and then put some rental sprockets on. I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? Oh, sorry. Yeah, so the rear subframe is different, but that's not really down to a performance thing. It's just because the standard subframe is quite expensive. It's like £800 for a standard subframe, so if you're crashing all the time, it's cheaper to have these motor fibres. I'll cut that on.
Motor holders.
Motor holders, yeah. So yeah, that's the only reason why we run the motor holder subframe is just because it is cheaper than what a standard cast Yamaha one is. And then moving around, probably the biggest glamorous looking piece that gets changed is the beautiful Acapulco exhaust system, which gives us performance as well as good looks. That's what we like. But yeah, that's probably pretty much it, I think. Obviously, what Taylor mentioned in his vlog was the old brake guards. They're for safety reason, not for any other purpose than when you bump into another rider, so it doesn't grab your front brake and throw you over the handlebars.
You turn that on.
But yeah, so that's my 2021 bike. Hopefully it's going to help me to bring some race wins this year. We'll see how we go. But I'm trying to think what else to say.
You've covered everything.
So yeah, that's everything on the outside of the bike you can see. Obviously then the engine gets tuned, but the rules have been changed quite a lot recently to make it sort of cheaper and more fair for everyone. So the level of tune now in the Supersport bike has come down. So Supersport bikes probably 6 or 8 years ago had more horsepower than what they do now, or at least as much as what this bike has now. So this current bike on a dyno now is probably between 130 and 140 horsepower, and a standard road going R6 is,
I don't know, 105,
110 horsepower or something. Yeah, 110 or 115 horsepower. So there's quite a big step to the engine even at that. So obviously the reliability goes down and the mileage goes down. So I think the refreshment mileage on these is between 1200 and 1500 kilometers. So then the engine goes back and gets a full refresh, which is obviously quite expensive as well. So it turns out now that running a super sport bike is one of the most expensive classes in British Championship, bar buying parts for a super bike, but actually running it mileage wise and stuff, it's dearer to run a super sport bike than a super stock bike or a super bike. So
bonkers.
Thanks
for this interesting chat with you. Really enjoyed not being a video guy, being the video guy. What do you want to end on? Give people a reason to come back next week.
Oh yeah, next week the video is going to be awesome, but I can't tell you what it is, so you're going to have to come back and have a look.